Hey everyone, welcome to our opportunity event tonight. I am April Ann. I'm a Diamond Ambassador with Plexus, and I actually have my sidekick on today as well. Tonight, I should say. Abby, my older sister, for the record, y'all, just by a couple of years. She's also going to be sharing her story with us tonight. And as promised, we are going to keep it super short. So y'all can get back to your busy lifestyles and get the kids to bed or quality time with the husband, etc. So with that being said, wanted to share a little bit about myself with y'all. So I am a boy mama, have two boys. I have a 2-year-old and now a 6-year-old. Can't believe my oldest just turned 6 last week. I'm also a military spouse by trade. Or not a military spouse by trade. I am a military spouse. We have been in the military for almost 10 years, which is crazy. And I was a speech therapist by trade. And you guys will get to hear a little bit more of that story here shortly. For my family, we love to travel. We love beach days, biking with the boys, all of the things, all the experiences, right? So I kind of wanted to paint the picture of what life looked like before Plexus, because life hasn't always been the same for us. For me, like I said, I was a speech therapist and I was working full time. And what I didn't love as a type A person was I didn't have a lot of control over my own schedule, right? I was told when to show up. I was told when I could leave. I also, y'all, at times when I get in, the secretary would say, oh, by the way, we slid some clients to you today in your empty spaces. So you're literally seeing clients back to back all day long. Oh, and by the way, you may not have a lunch break, right? So that to me was really hard. Also, y'all, ever since my oldest son was born, he basically was in childcare. Wouldn't recommend it, but we had our first child in the middle of graduate school. God's perfect timing, right? And we made it through, but y'all, that meant he would be in childcare, right? So mommy could go learn and mommy could go work, right? So that left me to y'all being exhausted.
Do we have any headphones I could use?
Pick up my kids. Uh-oh, I think someone's unmuted. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. That left me to feeling really exhausted, y'all, right? I would drop him off at the sitters. I would talk to Miss Karen quickly. By the way, she was a saint. But y'all, when I pick him up, first of all, I had lots of mama guilt because I just spent the majority of my day with other people's kiddos, right? And then secondly, when I pick him up, she'd say, oh, he did this, this, and this today. And to me, I was missing out on these moments I would never, ever get back. And it hurt my mama heart. But here's the thing, y'all, we were in so much debt. I don't know if anyone can relate to this tonight, but I'm talking over 70 grand in debt, lots of car loans, lots of student grad loans. We were just hurting and we were living paycheck to paycheck. And so I knew, y'all, I needed to help financially. And here's the thing, if you guys know Dave Ramsey, there is the free spirit and there's the nerd, right? Well, I happen to be that free spirit and my husband is the nerd. And y'all, to see the financial stress on his shoulders and how it brought him fatigue, and he just didn't know when we would ever be out of all this crazy debt. It was a lot. And I wanted to help with that, but I also wanted to be with my boys. So I was very, very torn. So basically, y'all, what had happened was I was continuing to see clients full time. A crazy hurricane came and wiped out the town we were living in. True story. And basically, I was out of clients overnight. Some of them scattered, never came back to the city. Some of them temporarily left. Some of them, y'all, didn't have homes anymore. And so that meant I was left without a job. And also, double whammy, the military said, hey, by the way, y'all are going to up and move in a couple of months because you can't stay here. So that left us, me pregnant with our second son, halfway through, it left me without a job. And so my husband and I chatted and we said, okay, we're going to go settle on the East Coast. We're going to get into a good rhythm. And then I will go ahead and line up and have job interviews all set for right after my second son was born. And that's what I did. Had it all set for after he was born 3 weeks later. So fast forward a bit, he was born, y'all, and I had this sweet baby newborn boy. And the day I brought him home that night, my husband and I were eating a late dinner. The toddler was to bed, and I literally rocked my newborn and started tearing up. And I said to my husband, I said, I can't do this again. I cannot keep missing out. I can't go and do those interviews. And he heard my heart and he said, then you know what to do. You need to go all in with Plexus. And so y'all, I did that. And it has been one of the best yeses ever. And I'm going to quickly share with you how our lives have changed. So obviously, I'm at home with my boys now. Life looks different. I'm not stressed in the morning trying to get them to the sitter. I'm not on someone else's timetable. I literally, y'all, wherever my phone is, I get to work. So a lot of times it's in the carpool line when I take my kindergartner, or like when we went to the pumpkin patch this weekend, it was a 45-minute drive. My boys had books and toys in the back. And guess what? I worked from my phone. Also, y'all, we've been able to pay off every single cent of debt. And to see my husband when we became debt free, you guys, this was one of the biggest moments of our lives. And he was literally like a kid in a candy shop. We've also able to enroll my kindergartner in the best private Christian school here. And y'all, I'm not kidding. Every single day he says it was the best day ever. And he's reciting Bible verses and he loves his sweet friends. And my mama heart is so very full. Y'all, we would have never had the expenses to do that. We've also now been able to save for their college funds, which that to me is huge. I entered marriage with a lot of undergrad loans, y'all. So lots of debt. So that's huge for us being able to save for our boys, for an emergency savings, for IRAs. Also, as a military spouse, y'all, anyone else who's on tonight, you can relate. Our husbands are gone all the time, right? They're on TDYs, temporary duty. And what has been so fun is I don't have to worry about PTO. I don't have to worry about shifting clients. If my husband goes, a lot of times we go with him or we go meet daddy and we take a trip together. So we did that in May. We met him in Florida. We did a beach trip and it was the best time ever. And y'all, again, I worked from my phone, right? So not only has all this happened, right? But y'all, my job is to change people's lives, to provide hope. Do you guys know the two biggest things people go to sleep at night worried about? It is their health and their finances. And we have a solution for both of those things, y'all. All we have to be willing is to open our mouth, right? Also, we've been able to give more. We've always tithed the 10%, right? But we never really felt like we could go above and beyond. Or if there was someone who needed something met that day, we could be like, you know what, we can cover that. What do you need? Right? So that has been absolutely amazing. So here's the last few things, and I'm going to pass it over to Abby. But here's what I found, y'all. You don't need experience. I was a speech therapist, had no idea what I was doing, but y'all, we have systems in place to help you succeed and the best community. You don't need a big network. Okay, I had less than 200 Facebook friends when I got started. You don't have to deal with a huge startup cost. When I'm talking startup costs, you're going to pay for your products. So you can be a product of the product and feel fantastic. And then let's take your 2 grande frappuccinos that you get from Starbucks a week. And y'all, that's your startup cost. Okay, incredibly low. Also, this is true residual income. Okay, I'm talking get people started feeling great and continue to get paid. Also, no income cap. So just like when I was a speech therapist, I maybe got $1 raise a year, right? And I was working hard and I was showing up on time and I was doing my best. There's no income cap here, right? And then last thing, this isn't just about direct sales. In fact, it's more about building a community, building a team, and going into leadership. So, y'all, I could talk all night long on this topic, but I want to keep it short and sweet so you guys can hear from Abby. But if there's anything I want to say tonight, is this is for you. This is for you, and we will help you along the way. So there I go. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Abby.
Thank you, April. That was so good. I love hearing your story every time. So as April said, I am her older sister, but not by much. So my name is Abby, and I'm a mama of 3, 7, 5, and 1. I've been married to my husband for 10 years now, and we live in Madison, Wisconsin. We're very involved with our church. We are homeschooling our kids for the first year, so it's been an adventure. And we just love spending outside in nature, doing all the things outdoors. I have been resigned from my elementary music teaching job now for 3 years, and a little bit more to come on that later. But an interesting fact about April and myself is that we're very similar in our values, but she is more of an extrovert and I am more of an introvert. So maybe you'll be able to tell that in our talks tonight. But when April introduced me to Plexus almost 3.5 years ago now, it was actually really crazy timing because I was literally standing in my kitchen about a week before I saw her doing her pink drink on Facebook. And I was probably holding like a cookie or brownie or something in my hands, and I was eating it, and I was thinking, am I going to have to feel like this for the rest of my life? And I was really depressed in that moment. You see, I was extremely addicted to sugar, where I would be going and grabbing for something in the cupboard every afternoon, whether it was, a little bit of chocolate here, maybe some Skittles, maybe even if it was a really bad day, like just getting on a chair and trying to dig to the back to see if there's any spirit candy there for my kids. Yeah, I was that person. And so I was always trying to have a pick me up to just get me through the day. I was a teacher at the time, and so I would be exhausted every afternoon. I would literally be laying on like the carpet the kids would sit on to do circle time or whatever during music. I would be laying there putting my legs up like I'm just so tired. I'd be going to the teacher's lounge, seeing if I could grab something to just give me that, that high. But then you know how sugar works, you drop right back down, right? And so that was my life. I was very short with my kids. I had a lot of anxiety. I was not sleeping through the night. I just was trying to survive the day rather than thriving. And so I finally got to a point where I was like, okay, I need to give this a try. And I was very, very skeptical. So skeptical that April said, listen, I'm going to pay for your first box. You will just darn get started. And so she did. And I got started. And about 2 to 3 weeks in, I did notice some shifts beginning to happen. I noticed that ice cream was just sitting in the freezer at night. It was there. I would go to it, right? Routine, bad habits. But I just wasn't craving it. It was so weird. And my husband would be asking like, why are you not eating ice cream before bed? And then he would also ask me, why are you staying up so late? Because, tired teacher, tired mom, I'd be crashing on the couch by 8 p.m. And I still remember looking at the clock and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's almost midnight. And I still had this light, consistent energy. I was just like going quickly around the house in my robe. Anybody who knows me knows I love my robe. And I'd be like washing counters, like doing the dishes. And I'm like, where is this energy coming from? And it was so amazing. I finally started sleeping through the night. I lost inflammation in my body, specifically in my face, that I wasn't even aware of. I was freed from that sugar addiction. I just felt happier, lighter, more calm with my kids, and less stressed. And it felt so good to be able to have my health under my control again. So the day I enrolled with Plexus, I actually started sharing right away, as in like an hour later, because I knew that there was other people in my life that these products could help. I saw other tired mamas, struggling teachers. I mean, it was everybody, you know, my high school friends, people at the store, my family. And so I was like, well, why not try to help them too? Plus, I'm really motivated by money. And so when April shared with me that I could get my product costs covered, I was like, tell me what to do. I will do it. And I did. And it was amazing because I'm a very frugal, cheap person. Well, I used to be. It's changed a little bit now. But I was able to grab a few friends here and there. And then they started grabbing a friend because they could see how exciting this was and how good they were feeling. And you guys, what started with sharing with just a few friends seriously just blew up. And I became part of something that was just so much bigger than myself and was exciting. And I loved helping others and seeing that paycheck flowing in several times a month. I was like, what is this? Amazing. And the truth is, you guys, I was not looking to connect with other people. I was not looking to get on Zooms and be part of a community because introverted, very independent. Yeah, that's me. And so I didn't think I needed that. And I would just kind of sit back quietly and, you know, not get my input or anything. And that has become one of my very favorite parts now. I saw these men and women that were excited about life, that had goals, that loved showing up each day and putting their best foot forward, that loved serving others and putting others first, and who had big dreams and goals. And I was like, well, I want that too. And so I did. I decided I wanted to start dreaming bigger for our family again. These dreams were keeping me up at night because I was so excited. And then I would share them with my husband, and he was really skeptical at first, you guys. It took a while to get him on board. We'll just say that. But now he is 1000% on board. And you'll hear a little bit about that in a little while. But I realized that Plexus was this avenue to really change our lives. So within a short amount of time, I was actually able to cover, obviously, my product costs, but then I was able to start covering other expenses for our family. So some medical debt, some credit card payments, unexpected car bills. We love those, right? And then it was our mortgage. And now today I cover every single bill for our family. I covered the savings. We're having lots of savings going into our bank, which is something we never had for the first 7-8 years of our marriage. And now we actually have savings for our children and their future. We also have some big plans to buy land and build a house in the near future. So we're just really excited about everything that Plexus has allowed us to do and dream for. So about a year into my journey, I decided that I just wasn't loving my teaching job anymore. The passion had just kind of gone. It was a new season. I wanted to be home with my own kids versus being with everybody else's kids. And I decided to resign. And I remember carrying that box out of school and taking one more look as I drove away. And I've never looked back, you guys. It has been amazing to be able to be at home, be more present for my family and for my children, and now my husband too. I was the one who was taking our son to kindergarten. I was the one who was baking muffins with my daughter in the morning. We have our youngest who is 1.5, and we call him our baby, but he's not really a baby anymore. But we were able to be there for every single moment of his first year and a half, and not have to miss out on anything. You know, I'm not that mom anymore who has tears in her eyes as she's driving away from daycare, and the two older were, you know, waving out the window, and it broke my heart each time. And so Plexus has just allowed complete freedom of our time for me to really to create my own schedule and work things around that because it is so flexible, like April said. So life I found is also really unpredictable because about a year ago, my husband lost his job of 17 years. Very unexpected, and it could have been devastating for our family, but it was not, because of the income I was bringing in through Plexus, which is actually triple what I was making as a teacher. We did not have to worry, you guys. We did not have to think, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? We didn't have to go like, hurry up, Brian, go apply, get another job. Like, we need this income coming in. We didn't have to worry about the next day would bring. We were secure in the income that we were bringing in. We felt safe. We felt peace. And obviously, or not obviously, but apparently I'm a 6 on the Enneagram, and loyalists just want to feel safe. And so when I talk about this, my heart is just so happy because I feel safe. I feel secure in this the options that we have with our finances. So Plexus went from our plan B to our plan A. And now my husband has been a stay-at-home dad for over a year, and he's loving it, you guys. Different, right, than the traditional, but he loves it. It works so well for us. And now he's actually a homeschool teacher. So it's been a total flip. We never saw ourselves leaving our rigid 9-to-5 jobs, barely having any family time, to now so much family time, so much freedom, so much more fun, adventure, learning, trips. I mean, it's seriously a dream life. So many times I'm like, is this really my life? I just feel so fortunate. And now we're finding that we are no longer living just to work. Maybe you're living just to pay the bills, to try to get by with your debt. Just, you don't feel like you have any other options. I'm telling you, you definitely do. Life is too short to live just to work. You really should truly try to live, or work to live, right? Really live your life to the fullest. So like April was saying, as we wrap up, this community has just been a huge part of my journey. I have grown more as a person over the last 3 years than I have in my 34 years. It's an amazing thing when you allow yourself to be transformed, because then you're able to transform others' lives. I love helping others to reach their fullest potential. I love working with people in my life, on my team, and just helping them use their God-given talents, because we all have something to bring to the table. Maybe you guys face some fear in your lives. I was able to overcome so many fears over my Plexus journey. I'm extremely proud of myself, because when I started, I was the person who refused to get on a phone call with people. It terrified me. And I had really no social media presence. I really didn't even know how to communicate well with people. And flying terrified me. So travel out of the question. Well, you guys, I'm happy to report that 3 years later here, I'm no longer terrified to travel. Yes, I have to do a lot of mindset work to get myself onto a plane each time, but I've now been to Florida and South Carolina, Tennessee, Mexico, and next month is Arizona. So thank you, Plexus, for covering these amazing, incredible trips. So as you guys can hopefully see, my family has just been truly blessed by this opportunity, and we feel so happy that we're able to be a blessing to others as well. It's completely changed our lives, and I'm so grateful that it fell into my lap about 3 years ago, and that I had enough courage and faith to go for it. So maybe you guys are sitting here tonight and you can relate with what we said. Maybe you've been actually secretly watching, waiting for that right moment, or maybe this is something where you're like, I've never considered this until this very moment. Doesn't matter which one you are. I believe that you are here at the right time and the right place. Guys, don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers. The future is bright, and there are options there for you. So we cannot wait for you to experience the more that Plexus has and that can bring to your life. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight and taking some time out of your busy evening. We really do appreciate it. Make sure you connect with who invited you and have some conversations about this. And we're so excited to see what this could do for you guys and your family in your future. So hope you all have a great night.